All right, to those watching us live on Facebook, I would actually love you to confirm if the sound is tuned very well now. Thank you. All right, Maestro, good morning, and you're welcome to the Daily today. All right, I hope you had a great night.
We thank God for His mercies.
Okay, then. The rain, we are here. It rained, we are here, but it's just one person that's not here, and we know who that is, Brother Lati.
Okay, He will come for you soon.
Yes, I'm starting it this one. All right, then. Let us pick it up from the issue of passport fee. I saw this online press release saying the federal government approves an upward review of Nigerian passport fees to ensure quality and integrity. And that one is signed by the service PRO, service headquarters in Abuja, saying as part of its effort to maintain the quality and integrity of Nigerian standard passport, the federal government has approved an upward review of the fee for passport effective from 1st of September 2024. Based on the review, a 32-page passport booklet with 5-year validity, previously charged at 35,000 naira, will now be 50,000 naira only, while a 64-page passport booklet with a 10-year validity, which was 70,000 naira, would now be 100,000 naira. However, the fees remain unchanged in diaspora. All right. And they said this one, they are assuring Nigerians of their unwavering commitment to transparency and quality service delivery at all times. But this has sparked so many reactions from Nigerians saying, wow, so passport is not even more than new minimum wage. And
What is your own question about
my
it?
own question about it is this okay for people who are out there who genuinely do not know that, okay, can... So because some people are even saying, are we supposed to be
No,
paying
not
for the
some
Nigeria?
people. What's your own question
Yeah, I'm
about it?
coming. Saying, are we supposed to be paying for this in the first
Okay,
place? All
so
right.
you should get passports free. Like
As a
which country?
as a
You
Nigerian.
see, the point here is, I was just trying to steer you away from, the people said, the people
I
said.
understand. I do.
So the point here is, people who are hungry don't go collecting passports. So you collect passports, and you spend more to travel because it's the intention to travel. That's why you collect passports. So it depends on who we want to fight for. That's the number one thing that you want to put on the table. Who do you want to fight for now? People who are not hungry. So before you step up to go and collect a passport, you have an intention to spend much more than the passport. So that's number one. And if a little money is collected from those who have to serve those who don't have, that is how it runs.
It's
That's
from-
how governments run.
From 35 to 70, is that little?
It depends on what you call little and what I call little. That shouldn't be any problem. We have different... I might put food on the table for child A, yeah, and put another portion for child B, and they will have different definitions of little or too much. So that's not the immediate problem.
Okay.
The issue here is when you take that money and you make it available for the greater good. That's what democracy says you should do in government. That's number one. Number two, I will have you know that a lot of people have been paying much more
Yes.
than 50,000 naira before now
Informally.
to get that. Whether it is formal or informal, the reality is that people pay much more, depending on your pressure. And if you don't have pressure, maybe you'll just be there for months before you get it. That is how it runs. So if a government is able to say, okay, Nigerians are paying that money already and it's going to certain pockets. So let's get it into government pocket
Okay.
and ensure we have a system that could actually bring it home. Fine.
But this doesn't apply to people applying for the travel document outside the country. Only for
They're already
Nigerians
paying
here.
dollars. They're already paying pound sterling. Do you want them to,
And where we do the
to even
conversion.
pay more? So some of these things are pretty easy to see.
All right then. Let us move on to our gyro issue. Right now, we have more critical unions given the strike notices. And I saw a story earlier this morning concerning the fact that they're saying Ajaro should not use this to push an agenda to try and just turn to spark civil unrest in the country. But I think that was the only news we got concerning Ajaro yesterday. And we have this one saying withdraw invitation to Ajaro. Opposition lawmakers tell the police. It says allegation is an unbelievable recipe for crisis.
Opposition people
Lawmakers.
are always very interesting. For instance, I know you never revisited that issue again when the issue of private jets being seized came up.
Yes.
And Peter Obi jumped up and said a lot of things that were dead wrong. And I was telling you here, as usual, that look, get more information about this thing. But from what you already told us, from that report, it's that these people went into a contract. The court says you have breached it.
Exactly.
And you see, go and pay. And he was absolutely misguided, misinformed. And he was talking about, federal government having owed. They have owed money again. They are doing, and we cannot have that kind of conversation at the top level. We can't afford to be having that kind of conversation at our own level here on this table. And that's why I said, look, let's leave politicians to do to one another what they do to one another. It's his business to say everything about this administration is wrong. That is Obi's work. That's what he has to do, to get to wherever he wants to go. But you see, when we begin to look at it all by ourselves, we really should be very careful, and we cannot also reduce ourselves to social media standards and street side standards. We have to be better than that.
All right, then. But we also have CISLAC saying that they are not against the investigation. However,
everybody who is not against the investigation should just step back.
I'm not still saying don't
Mr.
do not
Falana wrote
label.
the police to say, is that draconian? In a democratic society, your lawyer writes the police, we cannot come on the day you said we should come.
Yes, another
So
day.
please, give us a few days to tidy up. We will come and see you. And heaven has not fallen. That is what I want to see. All these other things about calling strike and so on, they could go ahead and call the strike. How many successful strikes have they called in the past?
But shutting down national grid, they
Which
sure can do
grid
that.
Are they going to shut up? It's just, we're wasting time with these people because they are mostly clowns. In every decent society in the world, police would investigate issues. And we've not said anything. We've not heard anything. They have not even started. And you have this much problem in the way of investigation. What you are effectively saying is police don't investigate our boss.
Do not go there.
He's sacred, right? No, there's nobody that I would say, oh, that's right, if you say this person is sacred. I know that it happens in African societies, and we're always dead set against it. We're always denouncing that. That's the position we will assume. But like I said yesterday, and I hope I don't have to talk about these things again until
they're going tomorrow.
Until we have a fresh, if you have a development, yes. But, to be attending to clowns who are saying the police must not investigate, it is just what it is. That is clownish. And unless they infringe on his rights as a Nigerian, covered by the Constitution, rights that you and I have. Because I'm just wondering, if we successfully say Ajaro, police must withdraw all that and so on and so forth, what next?
But whatever it is they are investigating.
What happens down the line? So the next person that the police will say we want to investigate this, a community could rise up and say, no, withdraw it.
As long as they have the population.
So we are not going to be entertaining this kind of idiocy.
So he'll be going in tomorrow, and by then I think by Monday, before Monday, we should know what the outcome of that will be.
And you see, we when they go like this, they restrain us. People who are like, I'm waiting to see why this person, was called by the police. I want to see what you said this guy did. They begin to push us around because that kind of position, we cannot go and align with them. We cannot go and stay with that kind of position which says somebody should not be investigated by the police.
Because of his position.
It is a ridiculous position to assume. So what you do is you allow this person to go through the process, and then we shed light on the process. We preen our eyes. We are looking keenly at it as it progresses.
According to the law.
That is what we should be doing now, not all this noise about don't touch. What is the meaning of don't touch?
All right, then. Let's go pay some bills. Now when we're back, we'll continue the conversation. We have other things to talk about this morning, obviously. We'll be back. Let's go pay some bills.
IKTB 88.7 FM.
My baby is 6 months old. Oh my! 6 months old? Wow! Now your baby needs more than breast milk. It's time to introduce mashed meals. In addition to breast milk, begin to give your baby mashed meals that contain at least one item from each of these 5 food groups: eggs, fish or meat, fruits and vegetables, oils, beans, groundnuts, soya or millet, rice, potato, maize or yam from 6 months. In addition to breast milk, your baby needs this combination of food types to grow healthy. This message is from the ANRIN Project or your state's Ministry of Health.
I'm in love. Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Is it to open? Is it to squeeze? Is it to scoop? And is it to stop?
Sonia tomato mix in a new stand-up pouch.
Yo, it's time to switch up your streaming and social media experiences. Introducing the Glow My G bundle, the first all-in-one social and music bundle. It's the perfect bundle for texting, snapping, streaming, sharing, vibing, and everything you love doing online. With My G bundle, you get the data deals for Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, WhatsApp, Boomplay, Audiomack, and Glow TV, all in one bundle. Now you can make every Naira count with affordable all-in-one data bundles with Glow My G. Get 1 gigabyte for 300 Naira, 1.5 gigabyte for 500 Naira, and 3.5 gigabytes for 1,000 Naira on the Glow My G bundle. Plus, you also get 1 hour of free browsing on your favorite apps. That's Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, WhatsApp, Boomplay, Audiomack, and Glow TV. Dial *312# to start making every Naira count with Glow My G bundle. T's and C's apply.
Glow Unlimited.
Appreciation. Mo dúpẹ́ oníbùwọ̀ rẹ̀ bàbá gbọ́ pẹ́ mi. ẹni ọlọ́run náà ń ṣẹ́ fúnra rẹ̀ òṣòro mà bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ríru wọn bọ́n ṣe ń gba ìnílé ni wọ́n máa gba ìlóde. Oríyọmí Òkìkí ọlọ́mọ amúsà káàbọ̀. Gbogbo United Kingdom pátápátá ni wọ́n ń kí Oríyọmí Òkìkí ọlọ́mọ amúsà káàbọ̀ sílùú ọba látijọ́ tí Oríyọmí ti wọ̀ lu London wọ̀kìlú mà microphone wizard. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá tàwùsá ti Ìgbò kódà tó fi mọ́ òyìnbó tó ń bẹ ní United Kingdom ni wọ́n ń kí Oríyọmí Òkìkí ọlọ́mọ amúsà káàbọ̀. Èyí ló ṣokùnfà àpèjẹ ẹ̀yẹ ìdánilọ́lá táwọn olùgbé orílẹ̀-èdè United Kingdom ṣe fún Oríyọmí Hamzat èyí tí yóò wáyé ní ọjọ́ 24 oṣù kẹjọ ọdún yìí 24th of August 2024 ní the elevation point number 3 Heringham Road London SC78NJ. Aago 5 àbọ̀ làwọn èèyàn ti máa dé sí gbàgede. Aago 6 gẹ́rẹ́gẹ́lẹ̀ tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ àwẹ̀jẹwẹ̀mú kíkí Oríyọmí Òkìkí ọlọ́mọ amúsà káàbọ̀ sórílẹ̀-èdè United Kingdom pẹ̀lú oríṣiríṣi àwọn nǹkan ìwúrí tí yóò wáyé lọ́jọ́ yìí tó ń sì máa fojú rinjú pẹ̀lú Oríyọmí Òkìkí ọlọ́mọ amúsà. Ẹ wá gbọ́ o aṣọ àgídìgbò FM lẹ́ẹ̀fi wọlé £20 ní o owó tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì £50 láti rí aṣọ àgídìgbò FM àti tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì gbà ẹ pè sórí nọ́mbà yìí 07310257288 07310257288. lẹ́yìn tá a bá ṣèyàn tán lọ́gán tá a bá ti ń parí ìwẹ̀jẹ̀wẹ̀mú àti ìfarakínra pẹ̀lú Oríyọmí Òkìkí ọlọ́mọ amúsà ọjọ́ kejì ní Òkìkí ọlọ́mọ amúsà yóò gúnlẹ̀ sí ọ́fíìsì rẹ̀ tó wà ní the elevation point number 3 Heringham Road London SE78NJ tí yóò sì máa gbàlejò lọ́kùn òjọ̀kan Oríyọmí Òkìkí ọlọ́mọ amúsà káàbọ̀ sílùú ọba.
Akidibo 88.7 FM.
All right, you're welcome back. Yes, before we went on that break, we talked about Joe Ajairu's invitation by the police and the reactions we've seen to that so far. I'm still talking about the labor union in one aspect. This one concerning the 70,000 naira minimum wage. We've had the labor union expressing their worries, saying that the federal government is spending, according to them, an unnecessary long time in releasing the template, knowing how anxious workers are to begin to enjoy their new approved wages. And we have this one coming from the Wages Commission saying they are working on the implementation already. But the labor unions are saying, it's been how many weeks now? Just let us have it already. And we have that. And also we have the CPP talking about the fact that the 70,000 may cause some people to actually lose their jobs concerning small and medium scale businesses. That is the news we have concerning minimum wage this morning, Maestro.
There's nothing there. They have negotiated. They got what they gave 3 bussers to. And so anything after that, yes, it should be effected as quickly as possible. That's the only thing I can say about that.
All right, then. Okay, so let us move on from that story. Right now, let's go to Rivers. It's been a long time we went to Rivers State. Yes. And we've had news coming from there right now.
Yes, Rivers is in the news. Yes.
Exactly. We've had different things concerning the investigation of anti-party actions of Wike in the past. We've been talking about all this since, and it seems they were not even looking towards that side at all.
Towards
talking about Wike performing some anti-party actions and all that.
Was he performing anti-party actions?
I mean, they're talking about, okay, we do not even know where you are, maybe APC or PDP, what's going on? We know he's been saying it's still in PDP.
I think it's very clear that he's in PDP.
Yes.
It's very clear that Wike is a member of the PDP. If he were not a member of the PDP, the hierarchy of the PDP would not be so bothered. They would not be talking about anti-party activities, would they? They will simply ignore whatever he's doing. Or you see, the point is Wike is a very powerful member of the PDP, and he has a lot of followers in the PDP, and he also has people who don't like his face who are very powerful too. So that's the standoff in the PDP. They have a standoff that they are treating. So and it goes beyond somebody simply saying you are performing anti-party activities. For some people, anti-party activities must mean you're serving in a political party that is not our own. I don't think it's...
you're PDP, you're currently working on the APC.
I don't think... And I told you that it's not a fresh factor in Nigerian politics. and we talked about a couple of people who took up appointments in governments that were not their own, not formed by their own political parties. It's happened, before. As a matter of fact, there was a time that I think it's Atiku Abubakar who wanted to compete, and he wasn't given the ticket in his political party. He moved on to somewhere else to do it. Is that anti-party activities? I don't think so. So you need to understand Nigerian politics to a point to be able to, so you could separate when they are telling you nonsense and when they are telling you the truth, about these things. And as far as I'm concerned, there's a standoff.
Okay.
And that standoff started from the moment Wike began to walk in his own direction, because he has a case against the hierarchy of the PDP.
The second, Maestro.
It's 7 a.m. on Agidigbo 88.7 FM.
Over the presidential race, that's where the problem started in the PDP. They claimed initially that it was zoned to the south. And Alhaji Atiku Abubakar said no, he was going to contest anyway. And that's the departure. So if you are going to talk about anti-party activities today, you are not going to be talking about the leaves. You have to be talking about the root. That's where you go back. So who actually committed anti-party, offenses and so on? That's the way I look at issues. It is not the development that will matter first. You have to go and look at the origin. And that's where this whole problem started for the PDP. And I'm not saying Wike is right. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm not even saying Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is right or wrong. I'm telling you how these things played out from the beginning. And you must look at it not as a partisan. You have to look at it as an impartial observer. That is what will bring the truth home to you and the people who are listening to you.
All right then. And concerning Clark's issue with Wike, it's saying Clark is saying yes on Wike, the FCT minister, he is using the kind of relationship he has with Mr. President to intimidate Fubara in the Rivers.
Well, that's another problem that it's another problem. So Pa Clark is probably not interested in the PDP crisis. He's more interested in Rivers. That's his domain, and he's very preeminent. He's an elderly man, very, very elderly, and he's been very active in Nigerian politics for a very long time. So voices like that will be heard when what appears to be their interests are touched. So you expect to hear from him. Even people who have been fending for themselves for a long time, like Asari Dokubo, you hear their voices. So you cannot but hear such voices when these kind of things are happening. He is interested in the peace of mind he pursues for Fubara. He wants Fubara to, govern, end his tenure without a removal from office and so on and so forth. That is his position. And he's pushing that argument to mean, okay, it's just because you're with the president. That is why, you are able to do this thing. But I don't think that is an absolute truth. You see, if you are saying he is with the president and that's why he's strong enough to take on the governor, why is that so? Why aren't you looking at 27 lawmakers, for instance? Are they also drawing power from the president?
Drawing power from Wike.
Why are you not? No, they are Rivers people now.
Wike is a Rivers man.
Why do they need to draw power from Wike? They are local. They are voted for in all the constituencies in Rivers State. People voted them into the place. So why are you ignoring that? We are erasing that from the conversation that this man has. Wike is not just powerful. It didn't just happen in a vacuum. His power derives from the people on ground.
Yes.
Supposing, he didn't have all these 27 lawmakers, wouldn't we have forgotten about him? We would have forgotten about him and, whether you are connected to the president or not. But the truth is, Wike has followers in critical places in Rivers State.
How about for
But
Bar?
they want it. He's one of the critical people he brought.
But now he's no longer there.
No, the point is not about being there or not. The focus must be on, Wike, you are strong here because you are connected to the president. So, and I know that's not the truth. And anybody who looks at it very well will see that is not the number one truth. The original truth here is that Wike is strongly positioned in the politics of Rivers State first. Look, the president himself was in a kind of situation where he wasn't even taking on, powers that be in his state. He was taking on the president. That time, President Obasanjo. So when you see people building political, forces,
Relationships.
and doing things around, we have to be clear-eyed, especially as what we do. We have to be clear-eyed about it. I have always been of the opinion that this thing should not go as far as a removal. I don't
Of the
like,
governor.
Yes, I don't like how the man is even going about his, political strategies and everything. He's wrong-headed. But look, the best thing for Rivers State and for the people of Rivers is for this thing to just run 4 years, and then they will now come and show everybody what they could do. When the elections come, that's when I think they should do this. Not now, that it would disrupt a lot of things. Even if we calm things down at the end of the day, it would have disrupted a lot of things, and that's not good for Rivers State. It's not even good for the country.
All right. Gabriel Arimo on our Facebook page says, when is a politician said to go anti-party, sir? So, help us add that.
I'm not going to go into any political party's constitution.
They do
because that is what you are talking about. It's not flimsy. You have to go and look at the constitution of the PDP and what constitutes anti-party activities.
It's different.
I mean, look, you have to look at it first. It's not, am I the library of PDP that you now be asking me what constitutes what? That is not the point. The point here is if you say it has been, conducting anti-party activities or things like that, then what are the party members looking at since? Why have they not dealt with that situation since? If it's anti-party activities, and then let me even tell you, there are times in this country that people have been booted outside of their own political parties on allegations of anti-party activities, and it's false. It's not true. They just call the dog a bad name to hang it. So these things and I don't really want to stress myself about politicians and their games. If you are asking that question, with a free mind, what I will ask you to do is to go and check the PDP constitution.
Did you have the
constitution?
And
you will see there, you can get it online, I'm sure. So some of these things are not, there's something, however, that we could, between ourselves, look at what could we even define at this level as anti-party activities. We can have that conversation. That is it going to hold position in another party's government that constitutes anti-party activities? That's very important. We can have that debate. But you see, it will still not go far enough until you see what's written clearly down in the party's constitution, that this this list constitute what's called anti-party activities. And you have to work by that.
All right then, Maestro. in a week, just a week, NNPCL discovers 220 illegal refineries in Nigeria. And yes, this was contained in a documentary titled "The War on Crude Oil Theft," posted on their X handle. I saw a particular one yesterday, and what didn't make me bring the video to the studio this morning was the caption saying that that particular the refinery produces about 200 plus a million barrels per day. And I'm saying,
200.
about 200 million plus barrels. And that was what just took me off. That was what took me off. I saw it on different platforms, and it's still the same thing. I was like,
People
millions.
take it upon themselves, to misinform, the ignorant, unfortunately, and the innocent too. Not even Aramco in Saudi Arabia produces 200 million barrels per day. I mean, immediately you should just close that down.
Exactly.
And not even bother to bring it up. But I will tell you something about this NNPC, because we stand the risk of being bullied into making a sensible analysis when we begin to listen too much to people who are not conscious of what is going on. So I'm hearing in clear terms. I tell you something about the NNPC today. I'm hearing in clear terms audit in block letters about the NNPC. I didn't hear that in a lot of other administrations in this country. I'm hearing that now. Audit. That means a lot.
The great and mighty NNPC.
And do you know what that has brought out? Profit after tax of 3.29 trillion naira from 2.5 trillion profit in 2022. I want you to be listening very carefully so that you will see how some subtle measures probably is fighting corruption in our country. And we are sold on this petty stuff all the time. We should look at this and shed light on it and discuss the implications of what I'm about to read out to you now.
Okay.
So you see the difference? Profit after tax of 3.29 trillion from 2.5 trillion. Okay. You move on to revenue now. That's the 23.9 trillion before. Are you listening?
Yeah, sure.
23.9 trillion naira now. Before, 8.8 trillion.
8 from 8 to 23.
Do you see the distance? So you're talking about 171% increase. Gross profit now 7 trillion. Before, 2.1 trillion. 233% increase. Operating expense, 3.1 trillion. Now, before it was 1.7 trillion, it's now 3.1. You mark that.
Okay.
Because I'm wondering why it shot up so much. Operating profit, 4.3 trillion. 4.3 trillion. Before, it was 649 billion. It wasn't up to 1 trillion before. You have pre-tax profit. Now, 5.9 trillion. Before, 1.8 trillion. You have income tax, 2.69 trillion. I'm trying to find out what it was before. I don't have that immediately. Profit after tax, 3.29 trillion. Now, before it was 2.5 trillion. Are you following these figures?
I am.
Okay.
I'm jotting it down.
Now, total assets was pegged at 58.8 trillion before.
58.8.
Listen very carefully to how it is now. It is now 246.8 trillion from 58.8 trillion.
Wow.
So, net assets, 28.5 trillion before 3 trillion. Cash flow from operations, 10 trillion naira. Compare that with 4.6 trillion before. Cash flow from investing, 3.7 trillion versus 2.1 before. So I'm thinking, as I'm looking at these figures, and they are published, they are not hidden anywhere. So they are published for people like you and I to begin to question the figures. Question the old figures and question the new figures. When we do that successfully, what we are going to be able to do is to take government to task that, okay, congratulations, you have made so much money, so much more
from this
than what was happening before. Number one, what happened that it was so low before and now it's so high now? And I can tell you that it's not all due to corruption. One vital part of this is the dollar, the rise of the dollar. And they are using like $901 naira to the dollar to calculate this. So you know that you could work with it, but you see the increments are crazy.
It is.
So what's been happening to us before, we want to know. But now that you have this much money, what are you going to do with it?
All right.
If we don't have that kind of conversation and we are doing all this,
Okay, Maestro, on that, we need a further explanation concerning this figures. But let's go pay some bills and we're back. We'll continue with that.
Akidibo 88.7 FM.
I'm in love. Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Is it to open? Is it to squeeze? Is it to scoop? And is it to stir?
Sonia tomato mix in a new standard pouch.
I am pregnant. It is important for me to take care of myself and stay healthy.
To be strong and have a healthy pregnancy, take iron and folic acid tablets every day when you're pregnant. This prevents anemia and helps maintain a healthy pregnancy. Visit your healthcare provider for regular antenatal care. This message is from the ANRIN Project or your state's Ministry of Health.
ìyá àgbà ẹjọ́ ẹ bá mi fi bọ̀kọ̀tọ̀ tó kó garu yẹn sí ẹ sì fún lóbìnrin kó yẹn sí ẹ tún fi ṣàkí onígbàwé yẹn náà sí àti.
arákùnrin ẹjọ́ ẹ̀yin wo lẹ fẹ́ fi jẹ gbogbo eléyìí ẹ̀yin ìyá máa yọ yín lẹ́nu o.
ìyẹn ti dàfí sẹ́yìn ní báyìí ṣé ni mò ń yan fanda tí mò ń dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ọṣẹ ìfọyín tuntun close up complete fresh protection mo ṣe jẹ́ nìyẹn o ọṣẹ ìfọyín tuntun close up complete fresh protection àfọ̀n ẹ̀láàbò tó péye téyìn ẹ̀ nílò ó ní fluoride àti antibacterial zinc tó mú kéyìn ẹ̀ gbó kéké bẹ́ẹ̀ ló máa ń gbani lọ́wọ́ kòkòrò jẹyínjẹyín èyí tó lè mú kéyìn máa lu o.
èmi náà ń tètè lọ rọṣẹ ìfọyín tuntun close up complete fresh protection tèmi báyìí.
close up complete fresh protection fún ìtọ́jú tó péye téyìn ẹ̀ nílò ó wà ní jẹ́ẹ̀lì aláwọ̀ aró.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ra lẹ̀ o ẹ lọ borí omi.
oríṣi ìdí ló lè fà á tí ènìyàn fi nílò láti ṣe ìtọ́jú ẹbí ará ọ̀rẹ́ tàbí ojúlùmọ̀ ẹni lẹ́yìn ìgbà tí irúfẹ́ ẹni bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti papòdà kó tó di pé yóò wọ káàlẹ̀ lọ.
òdodo ọ̀rọ̀ ló sọ bá àbèjì ìdí nìyí tí elite funeral home fi wà láti bá yín ṣe ìtọ́jú ẹni yín tó ti lọ.
elite funeral homes.
elite funeral homes ló ń rẹ́ndà 100% embalmment tó ní guarantee bí irúfẹ́ ẹni bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe wà láti day one ló máa wà throughout the stay láì tú tàbí yọ any part of the corpse.
mo débẹ̀ mo kọ sára torí àwọn akọ́ṣẹ́mọṣẹ́ tòun ti rinṣẹ́ ìgbàlódé ló kún bẹ́ẹ̀ bíbà fún perfect environment and corpse preservation.
ọwọ́jà elite funeral homes ká orílẹ̀-èdè nàìjíríà.
elite funeral homes wà ní inú town hospital òpópónà gbági tuntun new ife expressway ìwó road area ìbàdàn ẹ̀dẹ̀ lè pé 09043464719 tàbí 08103851516. elite funeral home luxury hotel for the deceased.
kéré o kékulé ọgbọ́n kó sọ fún toko kánà gbọ́ kóró fún ọbẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí gbogbo wa ti mọ̀ wípé bàbá àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké Oríyọmí Òkìkí ọmọ Amusa ò sí lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà lọ́wọ́ tá a wà yìí bẹ́ẹ̀ làwọn ọmọ kéékèèké ń ṣàfẹ́rí rẹ̀ fún ìdí èyí ó ń la ṣe gbé ètò ayẹyẹ ọjọ́bí olóṣooṣù tí oṣù August lọ sí oṣù kẹsàn-án tí í ṣe September nígbà náà la máa ní méjì lọ́kan 2-in-1 event fáwọn ọmọ oṣù August àti oṣù September lẹ́yìn tí wọ́n ti láǹfààní àti dáwọ́ dùnú láyàjọ́ ọjọ́ ìbí wọn torí pé kí ni Alhaji Dr. Oríyọmí Òkìkí ọmọ Amusa gbọ́dọ̀ wà níkàlẹ̀ láti dáwọ́ dùnú pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké ó yá o gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ August ẹ lọ rí ní sùúrù ká pa gbogbo rẹ̀ pọ̀ kéré gbogbo ó di September àtọmọ oṣù August àtọmọ oṣù September gbogbo wa náà lájọ láǹfààní àti dáwọ́ dùnú pẹ̀lú ra wa ní Sunday tó gbẹ̀yìn lóṣù kẹsàn-án dóní 29th of September dédé aago 12 ọ̀sán ó ní gbogbo ètò bẹ̀rẹ̀ tètè máa bọ̀ lọ́ọ̀rì já tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì fọmọ tiẹ̀ lóṣù kẹjọ àtọṣù kẹsàn-án pẹ̀lú 3,000 naira ẹgbẹ̀rún mẹ́ta owó náírà ní yàrá kìíní iléeṣẹ́ rédíò àgídìgbò 88.7 FM má dúró lórí rẹ̀ rárá àjọ̀dún ọjọ́ bíi tóṣù kẹjọ àtọṣù kẹsàn-án tọdún ní oníbejì ni o ó máa dùn kódà gbogbo máa kán sí i ó yẹ gbé bọ́dì.
88.7 FM.
All right, you're welcome back. In case you're just joining us, we are live on Facebook at Agidigbo 88.7 FM. So, Maestro, concerning the figures we read out before we went on fabric, it's just help us bring it out. What does these figures, everything we read out, what do they mean?
The first thing we must realize is that we always emphasize it. You cannot get to anywhere you're going without knowledge. It's when we want to start deceiving ourselves that we say, knowledge does not matter or school is a scam. Because some people say that. And when they participate in these discussions, they fall flat. Somebody might say, why is the president not distributing the money directly by himself? And so on and so forth. So the greater point here is not even in the figures. We will get to the figures.
Okay.
But what kind of mindset do we apply to our issues? Somebody is in a zone where he sees only darkness. So whatever amount of light comes, he's just going to see darkness. And we will not belong to that zone. What we see here is that why is this thing so humongous? Because you look at this thing and say these figures are way too much. They are mind-boggling. In just a jiffy, we're talking, this is an administration that is not up to 2 years. So where is all this coming from? That's number one. We need to probe this. We need to understand what actually is coming down here. That is number one. Because when we understand it, and we say, okay, well, you've done well in this regard. Now let's look at the money. Because that's important.
Exactly.
Let's now look at the money, this mind-blowing figure that you have been able to get together and authenticate. This is formal. This is coming directly from NNPC itself.
The figures.
So now, okay, what do we now do with this much money? Especially if we are going to be getting this on yearly basis. Then we can now say you can afford this. You can afford to do this for the people. You can afford to go this far for the people because we are talking on the basis of knowledge. That we know how much is in that pocket and we already congratulated you for doing that. And we expect you to even do more. Maybe you will double it the next year okay, it doesn't stop us from coming down on you when we believe you have done something wrong.
You should check.
So this is the kind of thing that, I believe we should be doing now. And then to be able to recognize politicians, the partisans, when they come pollute your conversation. This is good for this generation to also imbibe these things. I track them. When I'm on air, I know all these things. Like somebody, they call it, do you know what they call this thing? Unforced error in football and some other games. When you come and tell me without asking you, I was there with Babaladoja. In fact, I was sitting, we went together. What does that mean? It means you are a politician. And so you always come in here to pretend you are not. But that's what you are. You are partisan. And then, so you also have to apply a lot of smartness to hide. You see, these things happen. But you see, this is for the younger people. Like I told you yesterday, I don't have a lot of confidence in my generation. But younger people could still do some things for themselves. And so when you are holding a conversation, make it as intelligent as possible, as you could. And when somebody comes to tell you nobody knows everything, quickly leave that person in that zone. It's not someone in pursuit of knowledge. He doesn't want to learn anything. Just move on and have your clean conversation. Argue if you have to. I was telling you about Bishop Vivante yesterday, who sent something on.
From Cameroon.
We were in the same flat in the university, and we will argue until our eyeballs go red. Yes, but you see, it was being done without any, malice or anything. We were doing it to learn more, to gain more. So, and it served us afterwards. And I think, people who are coming behind us too could do a thing or two about that. This one tells me something about corruption. We have to sit down and look at this. It's not something that I just saw these figures and I'm thinking we are quick to always castigate NNPC and this administration, which is good. But when this kind of stuff comes up, we just walk by.
Some do not even see it at all.
We walk by. How would our conversation be wholesome without this kind of knowledge that this kind of thing is going down, is happening? Then what are we going to be saying to power? So we will do an analysis of this. You see, issues get wiser when they land. So there are people who would also say this figure has faults.
Sure.
And I know that might not be untrue. Because, you see, they tell us that stats, most of the time, are like bikinis. It covers only where it does not want you to see. So you see, the devil is always in the detail. But I'm very impressed by this leap. And I always tell you, people, the poster boys of this administration are not doing badly. We are not satisfied, but they are striving. And I have never seen a finance minister that will strive like this. I have not seen, indeed, a president that strives like this against, critical issues. We might like it, we might not like it. If you want to tell a story about corruption and so on, we can have that conversation. I'm talking about what is happening now. Revenue generation also, I give it to FIRS. They have been trying. These figures are not, figures that we have seen before. So maybe if we say, let's get in on this, the figures, at least a fair percentage of it will come to poor Nigerians.
I mean, let us feel it.
If we are there with them and we are saying, okay, good, oh yeah, let's go. Okay, what are you going to do with this one? But if we always bog ourselves down every time. Now, look, I'm one of the harshest critics of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu for a long time. Most people don't know that, especially on a new platform like this. I know that a lot of people who come at me, they don't even, not the ones who say they should be sharing money. Not those ones. Those ones we are customers. And, we have had cause to kick one another out of platforms a couple of times on account of bullying other people. So, and we cannot have that. We must always have a decent conversation. This one, I like this one, these figures that I'm seeing, and I think they've done well.
All right then, and for Nigerians to be, yes, we've heard the figures. Let us feel it.
Yes.
What is the impact? Let us feel
that
it.
is the part that we now have to be. Simbe oniwon pin dada. You know, I mean, so we have to be there with them because we know them. We know them. It's not like we don't know them. We know them. So let us track these figures. What is the next step? This is huge. So what do we do next with these figures?
What are you telling us? What are you not telling us?
Because why was it so low? That's
Before.
a question we must not forget to ask.
Maestro, would that also include trying to hold the past administrations, trying to hold them responsible?
You see, I've told you before that this is a nil consequence country. I know these things.
It can happen.
But you see, it doesn't stop us from asking critical questions like this. That you cannot be telling me about 233% increase, 258 point something trillion to 246 trillion. Did you suddenly grow all those assets all in just 1 year? Or they were hiding somewhere before and we didn't know? Now we know. Because you see, when somebody like the likes of Papa Akinyelure begins to sit down, these are old school, very keen guys looking at figures, because the president himself is an accountant. The power is, so we're getting something from that. But in all, if we had, 100 trillion from all these things, the thing we need to do is to restructure the country. Because if we don't, yes, these figures are good and so on. If we don't, they will go to waste eventually. Nobody has given us this kind of view before. And we've had a lot of presidents. So this president will also go one day. And who comes?
We do not know.
We don't know who comes. Whether it's somebody who will now say, oh, don't trust that for 246 trillion. It's just 20 trillion. You can't do anything. They will just come and tell you it's just 20 trillion.
What they tell us, I will
and
take.
Then we roll with that. So we need to restructure so that all these figures will flow into the right channels for the growth, development of this country.
All right. Let us open the phone lines for people to join in the conversation right now. And the phone lines to call still remains 0704 1001 887 or +234 704 7008 873. But before then, let's listen to this.
Thank you for your attention. It's been lovely to have you keeping it locked on Agidigbo 88.7 FM. Now is the time to join in the conversation, to have the word, hear your voice, because we are the people's voice. Meanwhile, while you contribute to this program, kindly note that in accordance with broadcasting ethics, you are requested to keep your contributions modest, truthful, concise, and not offensive, inflammatory, or with tendencies to cause discomfort to anyone. Thank you. Now, let the conversation begin.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Wuraola.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, that's me from that.
All right, sir. Your contribution.
No doubt, Nigerians are passing through horrible moments as a result of action on national of the federal government now. Obasanjo, Yaradua, all of them remove, increase fuel, but not like this. You have to go to that source, that increment, not the subsidy. They intentionally increase fuel. People are now suffering. Baba Awolowo's word is coming to pass. They are using weapons at their disposal.
Sir, please do well to call back if you can. I'm not sure if that is the network or your airtime. Hello, good morning. Hello? Hello, good morning. You're on. All right. Thank you so much. 0704 1001 887. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
I greet your analyst there. My name is Ahmed Amegu. I am calling from Akofo.
All right, sir.
In fact, I'm very pleased with that analysis this morning. You see, that is why Nigeria remains to be underdeveloped. When we are talking of the law, Jerry Ajero that was invited by the police, is it bigger than the law? If you are being invited by the police, it's just for you to show up. If you have no skeleton in your cupboard, you are an educated person. You write a statement in respect of the questions given to you. So it is so very sad because of the picture of the country, the bad character of the citizen in this country. So are they saying anybody who has a skeleton in his cupboard should not be questioned? So if we continue like this, where are we heading to? You see, it pains me very well because we don't work with our law. We work with personality, we work with the power, we work with money without thinking that the condition is bigger than everybody. Mr. President can go today. Tomorrow, the law remains. Today, the law remains. So, thank you, the analyst there. I'm so very confused some of the time because of your name. For that reason, everybody in this country has to be law-abiding. If you want us to live well, if you want us to live well, live safe, economic development, in anything, we have to be law-abiding. If not, we are going nowhere. It is only the law that can help us to remain a good citizen of this country and development continue. Thank you. Bye for now.
All right. Thank you so much for your contribution, sir. 0704-1001-887 or +234-704-708-873. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Your name and where you're calling from?
Morning. Malaka.
All right, sir.
You see, for me,
you're on. Hello.
Hello.
The reception at your end is not quite good. No, please do well to call us back. The reception from your end is not doing very fine. All right, to the comments on the Facebook page right now, we have this one from Olajide Monsuru saying, with this administration, there hasn't been an official announcement of change in pump price, which has been steady since the initial 500 naira. There will be scarcity and the price jumps up. Interesting. Adewumi Shego says, honestly, no one will answer the call of the NLC. What really is happening with them? Let the president answer the invitation and submit its own answer. If police is wrong with the invitation to him, all we see and know, we will all see and know what next to do. NLC president is not above what the law of the country says, please. All right, moving on from that one, we have this one from Kayo Deolashikwa saying, but why are the policemen acting as if they lack legitimacy in line of duty? The first time they pretended as if they merely strayed into the NLC office and carted away their document without warrant. They traded blames and threw up denials as to who actually sent them. But today they are saying he has questions to answer. Why the pretense to throw up allegations against the Labour leader if they are so sure of their evidence? Nigeria is a country of anything goes. All right then. It says if the Kogi people could openly protest against the invitation sent to Yahya Bello and yet to be arrested till now, then the NLC has got a precedence. Hello, good morning. Please do well to call us back if you can. All right, this one from John Akerele on the issue of illegal refinery says, since Nigeria is unable to have a working refinery, we should not call anyone illegal. All right, let the government appreciate the brain behind the so-called illegal refinery.
They will be labeled illegal until they become legal, because this is how we, make everything so simplistic. So now that we can erase the line between legality and illegality, right? Because government is this and that. No, the moment you start that, where is it going to stop?
Exactly.
When you remove that line in the oil sector, where is it going to stop? Very soon you will remove illegality, among robbers and ordinary people. On the innocent people, you will remove the line. So let's be careful about these things that we pass on.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Your name and where you're calling from, sir?
My name is Abed Amegu. I'm sorry to come in again. You see, there are differences between issue of Kogi State government or governor to that of Jerry Ajero. Jerry Ajero is Joe Ajero. He is being invited by the police to say what he knows in respect of an allegation from the police. And this person is facing EFCC charges of criminal charges, and he have looked at this country. There are differences there. So for that reason, nobody should fool Nigerians that because the Ayabelo is not being arrested, the Ayabelo is being placed on a wanted list.
Okay.
But that of Jerry Ajeru is invitation. There are differences between two things. We should understand what you are saying as an educated person.
You know, I just decided to ignore it because there is no basis for comparison. But in order for us to get more calls, that's why I just decided to ignore that person. You know, because that is not the kind of conversation we should be having. You know, if you put colors before a primary school kid, most of them could, if you are not colorblind, most of them could differentiate. You know, how not could you be comparing, you know, a Bello that they are searching for him, he's gone under, and then you are comparing that with somebody who was invited, and he says, look, I'm coming, chill, I'll see you in a few days. How do you compare those things? You know, Wura, and this is your fault. I've told you there are some things we shouldn't even bring up at all. In order not to just, you know, drop the standard.
There are people's opinions.
Yes, there are people's opinions, but there are some ridiculous opinions. It's as simple as that. It's not everything that we can bring up. That is social media. We have to select those things. And they could disagree with our position. Exactly. No problem, but they have to disagree, you know, like the standard is okay. I mean, you tell me, is this the same thing? Bello is running. He's running. He can't show his face. EFCC is after him. He's been declared wanted.
But this is a police invitation.
This one is, come and see us. We need you to
clarify some things.
And then we are putting them side by side.
Okay. Grebel Aramo says, auditing of the NNPC is very important because Mr. Sanusi Lamido Sanusi was clamoring for it when it was the CBN governor, and that was what caused the suspension 3 months before expiration of his office. I think we should use that opportunity to congratulate SLS on his new, I think, PhD. Did you saw the video?
Yeah, I saw it. And you see, SLS is a very brilliant man.
It was quite emotional.
If you listen to him for just a few minutes, you would realize that you know, he's eminently gifted, extremely brilliant person. But what I always say is, we might be brilliant, we might be intelligent and everything. It's all neutral, you know, until you put your knowledge in nuclear physics to go and develop a nuclear bomb, or you put it to use in such a way that you could produce electricity to a lot of people, then the world will be judging accordingly. It depends on the use you put that brilliance to, ultimately. So we congratulate him. He's a very studious person. He's the kind of people, you know, that our generations should look up to. That this person could get everything without even stressing. Yet,
but he still does it.
You need knowledge, Joe.
All right,
There's nothing we can do without knowledge.
Alexander says, Wike has always drawn his powers from the presidency, whether it is now or in the Jonathan years. That is the absolute truth, and he probably would have been run out of town by Sim Fubara without the president backing him. Wike used to control about 80% of Fubara's government, including the former speaker and all that. And also, considering the example MAESTRO gave about Atiku moving to another party, constituting anti-party activity, he announced his defection and at that point was no longer a member of the PDP. In this present instance, President Tinubu is not a government of national... Oh, all right, thank you. I'll start with the comment right there. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, to your name, Alaji. All right.
Nice to meet you this morning. I'm not concerned about the price of international passport because it's only relevant when you want to travel, So I'm not ready to travel. But I'm very much concerned about this issue of scarcity of fuel. If you go through Total Garden, you see the queue. What is happening to us? You see, the Minister of Petroleum is the president. And Kerry has always been there for how many years now? If nothing is working, then the man should not still be there. We are in pain. Nigerians are in pain. I was at the NNPC Total Garden for over 3.5 hours yesterday. Before I could get cold fuel.
How much are they selling there, sir?
Yes, what I'm talking. I'm hearing you.
How much are they selling there at NNPC?
Number 580.
580.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And, before you can get it, the queue was from that Total Garden to Operation Boss. Then the one at the opposite Mano Wall, the queue there from that place.
Okay,
to Total Garden.
All right.
People are in pain. They should relieve us of this pain.
All right. Okay.
Thank you. God bless your day.
Thank you so much for your contribution.
That is a fact. It's a fact that we are all in pains. You know, and I feel that pain every time I buy fuel. It's not a joke. I feel it because I don't have the kind of money that I'm spending on fuel, yet I have to move. So I have to spend it. So that pain is real. But you see, we should let them know that we know some other things. Apart from the pains we are going through, we also know that this subsidy removal, we know it's amassing a lot of money. You know, this your new revelation to us, this audit and everything, we are also grateful, but that's more money. So let us talk about how this money will come to use for the people of this country.
For them to feel it.
How do we now say, okay, let's do it effectively? That's one. The other one is we are waiting eagerly for this September date. This is serious.
We are waiting
for this Dangote refinery to start, supplying
as promised.
And then we're hearing that you're giving some other people, the refinery thing, license and so on.
Yeah,
we're waiting for all those things because I am sure if we're able to, do these things, the pump prices will go down.
And people will feel it.
That's what I was telling you yesterday. There's fuel.
It's not as if we do not have it.
There is fuel. And I told you, when you see filling stations where there are no queues, it's much costlier than where you have queues. Where you have those queues, you just heard that they are selling for
580. All right.
That's how much government is selling. That's NNPC. But they don't have enough outlets. And the outlets they have, the moment they dump fuel, you are going to see crazy queues in all those places. While those other ones are selling one pump out of 4, and they are selling at 900, 850, 800. That's what is going on.
All right, so let's go pay some bills now. When we're back, we'll take like a few more calls and comment, and then we'll wrap up for today. We'll be back.
Akidibo 88.7 FM.
When you wake up in the morning, you wanna start your day. Start with Kellogg's, It is tasty and nutritious. That's why we start our days with Kellogg's, So you can reach your grades, stay active and alert. Start your day right, 'cause breakfast time is Kellogg's time.
I always want what's best for my family. That's why we ensure we start our day with a Kellogg's breakfast, fortified with essential vitamins and minerals to stay active and alert to reach your grades.
Breakfast time is Kellogg's time. I'm in love, Sonia tomato mix, stand up. Is it to open? Is it to squeeze? Is it to scoop? And is it to stir?
Sonia tomato mix in a new stand-up pouch. 18 months. 18 months. 18 months.
Mr. Man, what did
they happen for 18 months.
Nah, Hero Hunter, they are giving 18 months warranty on their motorcycles. A whole 18 months.
18 months warranty on their Okada? You sure say you know what you they talk?
Warranty na agreement when they follow product come. To sure say it stand well. Most machine, na 12 months warranty them they get. But the Hero Hunter warranty, senior all of them. With correct 18 months warranty, complete 1 year and 6 months. You no go spend copper from your pocket to repair your Okada engine. Na Hero Hunter go carry am with full chest. We move. Na Hero Hunter motorcycle. We go buy today. Hero Hunter. Save fuel. Save money. Guys, let's go and get seats at that table with Semovita.
Sorry, this table is reserved for the bride's family.
Do you know who I am? I'm the older brother of the sister's last uncle who married their first cousin.
Everybody wants a seat at the Golden Penny Semovita table. Golden Penny Semovita remains my soup's first choice. It's made from premium wheat and fortified with vitamins and minerals to provide a wholesome bowl food that pairs well with Nigerian soups. Golden Penny Semovita, my soup's first choice.
When you wake up in the morning, you wanna start your day. Start with Kellogg's, It is tasty and nutritious. That's why we start our days with Kellogg's, So you can reach your days, stay active and alert. Start your day right, 'cause breakfast time is Kellogg's time.
I always want what's best for my family. That's why we ensure we start our day with a Kellogg's breakfast, fortified with essential vitamins and minerals to stay active and alert to reach your grace.
Breakfast time is Kellogg's time.
Are you passionate about securing a promising future for children and contributing to quality education? Then join forces with us, Oyo State citizens, philanthropists, alumni associations, esteemed companies, and distinguished individuals that home and abroad under the leadership of His Excellency Governor Seyi Makinde. The Oyo State government has taken measures to ensure that every child has access to quality education. With the Oyo State Education Trust Fund, we provided textbooks, constructed and renovated school buildings, among others, but we can't do it alone. Be part of this giant stride through contributions in various forms. For more information and clarification, please call 0818-194-7496 or 0706-943-8519. This message is from the Oyo State Education Trust Fund under the leadership of its chairman, Barrister Rahman Abiodun Abdurrahim.
Akidibo 88.7 FM.
All right, Nia Adedoyin says, why won't figures of value shoot up when financial news has been placed on our necks? More money to the federal government. Babawali Oyewale says, let the Labour leader present himself, but to be very protective. Do you mean he should take Shekonu alongside with him?
The point here is, it's not the news on your neck that brought all this about. You know, it's sad when we are like that. We're talking about figures you haven't even processed. You're talking about 50 point something in total assets declared. And we are now talking about 246 trillion. You see that distance and you're saying it's because of the noose around your neck. It's, I don't know what I can say about this. But you see, you have to filter information. You know, if you are a moderator and all these things are coming to you, you are the gate.
Trust me, I didn't read that further.
For us to be somewhere, we need to, get the adults in the room into the conversation so that we can get to where we are going, which is to inform.
Idris Adisa says, Ajara is actually acting like a politician. His actions is now making me to believe he has some skeletons in his cupboard. My opinion, just like our youth presidential aspirant, a former Kogi governor, let him just go and answer the invitation. Mariam Yetude says, Nigeria is a country blessed with so many natural resources, but it's a pity that our government put all their hopes in petroleum when they could have invested so much in farming.
Yes.
Which will in return solve the issue of food insecurity.
That is true. That is very valid. But let's nose into their affairs. Let's see what is going on. Okay, the Minister of Mines came and said, okay, we boosted this thing by $500 million. Nobody cared. We just worked on. Could it be $5 billion? Is it possible? What's going on in that place? He even came out to say as much as powerful people in this country are behind all this banditry and so on, because they are using, all these people to mine illegally. So how much are we losing to this thing? We don't care. Because the amount of money you are not aware of will be spent behind you.
All right. So Joe Lushagun says, President Tinubu is into something as regards the NNPC. He is studying both the company and Mele Kyari and others before he can act. He's a politician. Kyari and others will be affected when he is ready. Kende Oyeledun says, I am impressed with the revelations from the NNPC audit report. Now we expect more for this year. We have this one from Femi Ranki saying there is fuel, the price is just high at some stations. When you see queues, the price is low, no queues, price is high. All right.
So the thing to pursue is not fuel scarcity. You understand? That is not the correct narrative. So you have to know what you are fighting first, and you apply knowledge to it before you know it. You can't know it with ignorance. So it is not fuel scarcity that we are fighting here. There is fuel, but it's outrageously costly. So you don't go and be fighting the wrong fight. You fight the right fight. But if you don't have the knowledge, you cannot fight any fight at all successfully.
All right then. I'm sure let's have your pattern shots.
Doctors would test you. They have knowledge. They will test you and look at what problem is afflicting you before they will now say, okay, this is the correct kind of drug to use. But here, we're just running around with our problems. We don't even know what it is. We cannot define it mostly. But thank God for those who, understand the conversation. It's deflating, man.
All right, then. Let us go for this morning to come back tomorrow and talk about nothing other than our great nation, Nigeria. My name is Wuraola Yusuff, and tomorrow we'll be back to have this discussion about Nigeria. Have a wonderful day and stay blessed. We'll be back tomorrow.
88.